Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today's another hot one, so I have my door cracked open and this is my PSA: do not leave children in a hot car because I'm a grown adult and I can barely stand it in my car with the door cracked. So anyways, today I am going to be reviewing The Obsidian Tower by Melissa Caruso. This was kind of a thick book, but I had an event over the weekend where I was gonna have to sit for like 6 hours and just kind of wait around for some stuff to happen. And I decided instead of bringing my phone to just scroll through whatever, I would bring a nice thick book and I would read this. So I read this during the thing I was watching and here we are. So I had not read anything by Melissa Caruso before, although I see that she's written some other books, but I'm going to the library right now and I'm going to pick up the next book in the series because I enjoyed this so much. So this book takes place in a realm called Aruvia here, and there is just a couple fantasy lands on this map, your standard fantasy map. I should also add that my library classified this as science fiction. It is not science fiction. I would definitely classify this as fantasy. Our character, or the main character in this book, his name is Rooks. She is part of a family that lives in this huge castle, and they are all vivomancers, so they're like life magicians. They can do stuff with life, but Rooks is a little different. Her magic is broken, so she doesn't give life or enable life. She actually kind of sucks it out of people when she touches them, which can have catastrophic effects. It's implied, or she accidentally killed some people when she was a child, and only the strongest of mages who prepare themselves before they touch her can even survive. So she stays on one side of all the paths, and everyone in the castle knows that they can't get very close to her because there might be devastating consequences. Additionally, there is a tower in the castle that they are told to never touch, the Obsidian Tower. They're not allowed to open it. They're supposed to guard it and make sure it never gets opened. So as you can probably tell from most fantasy books, what happens? The tower winds up being opened by a guest who is not following the rules with devastating consequences, and now Rooks, who already kind of has a complicated life situation, has to figure out what was in the tower, because it's questionable what they were even keeping it closed for, or why they were keeping it closed, how to contain whatever possibly might be getting out of the tower, and all the political intrigue and other minor issues that kind of go with maintaining a realm in a fantasy world with a bunch of different political factors who want to do their own thing. So this book, I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was a great fantasy read. Even though it's thick, it read very fast, so I thought it was very enjoyable. The main character is really likable, and I feel like her situation is very unique with her magic. I feel like it adds an element to the story that keeps things interesting and fresh. I liked a lot of the side characters in the book. I thought that at one point in this book, she falls in with this group called the Rookery, and that's actually the name of the series. It's Rooks and Ruin. So these are people who kind of investigate magical incidences, and she falls in with them and is kind of working with them to solve things. So I kind of like the mystery element. I like the magic element. I like the way that magic kind of works. It's not it's not really formally described in the book how the magic works, but I just think it's a very interesting world, and it was a good read. It kept me occupied. So I would recommend this. I enjoyed it. It's a good standard fantasy, and I'm excited to see what Rooks is up to next. This book kind of ends with some revelations and things being put more or less back in place, but something that's been broken can never be put back completely, and that's kind of a theme throughout this book. So there's things that can't go back, and there's things that are unknown about the consequences of opening this door. Additionally, opening up this tower has presented a lot of power to a lot of people in the world who have their own agendas and who now want to take that power. So I think book 2 is going to be following some of these people who want to access the power that's in this tower, the power in the tower, and using it. So now her whole world, or her whole little nation, has to deal with the problems that this could bring about. So yeah, very interesting. 4 stars. I really recommend. I think she's written more in this series, but she's also written another book called The Tethered Mage, I believe, which also looks interesting. So maybe check that one out. If you've read anything by this author, please let me know. I'd be interested to know more about it. Other than that, everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.